Dedication is more than just a word. Dedication is staying true to what you know to be true through adversity, through hardships, through struggle, and through strife. My name is Anthony Watson.
I'm a true champion.
Dedication is more than just a word. Dedication is staying true to what you know to be true. Dedication is more than just a word. Dedication is staying true to what you know to be true. Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Anthony Watson, and I'm a skeleton athlete for the country of Jamaica who made Olympic history this past Winter Olympics by competing in the sport of skeleton for the first time ever in Olympic and Jamaican history. But before I competed for the Jamaican team and was able to represent Jamaica in the World Championships of 2017 and the Olympics of 2018, I was United States bobsled skeleton athlete for about 3 years from 2013 to 2016. I grew up in a Christian home with a father and mother who really loved God and really gave everything in sacrifice to their kids, myself and my 3 sisters. But the beautiful thing about my family is that when we didn't have much, my parents never ever made it about what we didn't have. They always taught me and my siblings that in the little that we did have, to see it as more than enough to give to somebody else who didn't have anything. My struggle really wasn't with having a father figure, it was more internal. Like, I grew up with very low self-esteem. I was bullied a lot to the point where it got dangerous, where I was having thoughts of hurting myself and, getting physically beat up and emotionally just beat down by a lot of people from a young age up until I was about 20 or 21, really made me doubt myself and the person that I knew God had created me to be, because, being constantly made fun of for everything from, what I wore, because I didn't really have much, I never went to school with new clothes. A lot of times it was hand-me-downs or stuff that you got from secondhand shops or yard sales and stuff. And then even to what my laugh sounded like, there were months that I went without, even making a sound or laughter, because I was afraid that people were going to make fun of me. I got made fun of for how I ate my food. So, I wouldn't eat. There were a lot of things that I let people dictate. And, growing up was just really rough. Outside of school, at the young age of about 8 was when I started doing sports, and it was just track and field and soccer at the time. And so at those age up until high school, when for track and soccer as well, even into college. So in those moments were when I felt some sort of relief, was because it didn't matter what I wore, because I had a uniform to wear. It didn't matter what people thought about me, because I was responsible for my own part. And in those moments was when I finally felt close to people, because they were pushing you to be better. When you did well, they were happy. When you didn't do well, they were on you, but it was for a better purpose and stuff. And so it was the brotherhood and the camaraderie of being a part of a team that really got me hooked on the sports for just wanting to be included and wanting to push myself to be better. I can pinpoint and name every single coach and every single moment that someone gave me the right words of encouragement to tell me to push forward. And it wasn't until high school that I decided to try and see what athletics could get me and how far it could take me. And I think my biggest moment came when I had my best friend in college, my roommate at the time, tell me that you're studying this and you're studying that and you're gonna do this with your life, but I see you happiest and I see you most alive when you're doing sports. So he's like, I think you should do that. And he was there with me through everything. He was there with me when I first had my red carpet appearance as a reality TV star, and then he was there with me when I had my first album release concert, so he was there to see me through everything, and he really became like a brother to me that I never had. And then 2 years ago, through perinatal HIV, through contracting AIDS through birth, he passed away. And it was the hardest moment of my life, because for the first time I actually had someone in my corner besides my parents and my siblings that had become a friend, that was pushing me constantly through prayer and through faith and through encouragement to be a better me. And and when he died, I kind of got wrecked. And so I worked harder than I ever had before after that to become a better athlete and to become a better person. A lot of the obstacles that I face as critics, like the negative words from competition, criticism, just anything that people want to throw at you to try and knock you off of your path, but knowing that Jesus loved me, that he had a plan for my life, and it didn't matter what anybody else said or thought, because their opinions didn't matter. Seeing that being an athlete on a world stage, I can encourage other people like yourselves to know that in your situation, there's no obstacle that God can't fix. And knowing that in my situation, coming from nothing and having nothing, that I can achieve the Olympics with God's help, there's no greater feeling, and there's no fear there. My faith has played a big part in my success, because success means nothing if there's no purpose to it. Because if you're an athlete, and if I'm just an athlete training for my next medal or for my next accolade, and once I achieve that, then the question becomes, what's next? I've learned that when you ask God for big things, they come with big responsibility and with big obstacles. So that's not to scare you, but that's to show me that when I have things that I need God to come through on, and I leave it with him and I let him be God, that's when everything is good. Because left to myself, it's not up to me. Because in the end, I can only take care of what I can take care of, which is my training, which is how I handle situations, how I talk to other people, and how I carry myself. That's literally the only thing that I, as Anthony Watson, have control over. And it's because of him that I am where I am now. And knowing that everything that I've done is because he's had a bigger purpose in my life has deepened my faith, and I give him the glory for it. The message that I have that I want you guys to take from this is simple. It's to know yourself. And your situations don't define who you are. How much money doesn't define who you are. I know that society and social media have made the things, the material possessions that you have, make it seem like that's what your self-worth is. But it's not. And it's always what's happening on the inside. It's always what's happening at the depth of who you are, which is what gives you the drive to do what you do. And you need to be dedicated in that, because dedication is more than just a word. Dedication is staying true to what you know to be true through adversity, through hardships, through struggle, and through strife, knowing that if you stay faithful to what God has put on your heart, and knowing that this isn't who you are, but it's what you get to do and you enjoy doing it, then there's nothing that's going to stop you, because you're someone that's very special. And I'm telling you today that in every situation that you're in right now, fatherless, messed up home, feeling forgotten, that's not who you are. God sees you where you are. When you give God control, he's the orchestrator of everything, and the one that brings chaos into order, the one who pulls everything that's out of place back into its rightful place. And I wanted to leave you with this one verse. It's Philippians 4, verses 4 through 8. And it says, "Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. Let your gentleness be evident to all, the Lord is near. Don't be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." And that's Jesus's promise. That's who he wants to be to you. That's the things that he tells you to do. He says, come to me, And so that's my prayer for you guys. Any situation that you are, is Jesus simply says, come. And, I stand here as a testimony, as I've come broken, insecure, beat up, like beaten down, like just an emotional wreck. And God has fixed me. And so my prayer for you is that you know how special you are to God and to me, because I wouldn't be saying this thing to you if I didn't know if it were true for myself. So I bless you guys. I love you all, and I'm praying for you all.